This video is for educational purposes only and does not constitute professional medical advice. Please consult with your doctor or a qualified healthcare specialist before starting any new vitamins or supplements mentioned in this video. Use of this information is at your own risk. Imagine for a second the absolute silence of a house at 3 a.m. You wake up, feeling that familiar thirst, and reach for a glass of plain, clear water. You drink it down, believing you're doing the best thing for your health. But what if I told you that in the deep, microscopic reality of your body, that very water is acting as a catalyst for a catastrophe you cannot see coming? After the age of 60, the rules of survival change. Your body is no longer the resilient machine it was at 30. Every sip of plain water you take could be thinning your essential minerals, making your bones as brittle as dry glass, and leaving your legs so weak that a single misstep could lead to a permanent wheelchair. This is the information that never makes it into the glossy health magazines or the hurried conversations at a clinic. We are facing a silent epidemic of functional dehydration, where seniors are drowning in water on the inside, while their lower limbs are literally gasping for life-sustaining oxygen and nutrients. If you value your independence, if you cherish the ability to walk to the park or simply stand without pain, you cannot afford to look away now. Welcome to ElderFit Nutrition. It's a pleasure to have you with us today. We are dedicated to bringing you the raw, research-grounded truth about your health that others are too afraid to discuss. Before we go any further into the dark science of why your legs are at risk, please take a moment to subscribe to our channel. Your support gives us the motivation to keep uncovering these vital truths and helps us reach more people who deserve to live their later years in strength, not in shadows. The transition into your 60s is like crossing an invisible biological cliff. Beneath the surface, your vascular network is undergoing a radical shift. The vessels that carry life to your feet and calves are becoming less flexible, more prone to shutting down when the wrong signals are sent. When you flood this fragile system with plain water, you aren't just hydrating. You are potentially triggering a massive dilution of the very electrolytes that keep your muscles firing and your bones dense. The result is a terrifying paradox. You feel full of water, yet your legs feel like lead. They feel heavy, cold, and unresponsive. This is the precursor to the Great Fall, the moment when your legs simply give up because the blood flow was too sluggish to support your weight. We are talking about a 79% reduction in effective circulation compared to those who use smarter hydration strategies. This isn't just a minor health tip. It is a battle for your ability to walk. If you don't change how you hydrate, you are essentially gambling with your mobility every single day. The end of this story for most seniors is a hospital bed and a loss of freedom that no one should ever have to endure. But it doesn't have to be your story. Reflective question. After hearing about the 79% reduction in blood flow, which feeling scares you more regarding your future mobility? A, the fear of suddenly losing the ability to walk due to a fall. B, the fear of a slow, painful decline into a wheelchair because of heavy legs. Please comment your choice, A or B, in the section below. Your thoughts help us understand the priorities of our community. The most frustrating part of getting older is doing everything right and still feeling your body fail you. You track your steps, you watch your diet, and you religiously drink your 8 glasses of water, yet your legs remain perpetually cold, heavy, and plagued by a dull, aching fatigue. You might have been told it's just old age, but that is a dangerous oversimplification. The truth is far more clinical and far more solvable. Your legs are dying of thirst while you are volumetrically hydrated. This is the thirsty leg paradox. To understand this, we have to look at the inner lining of your blood vessels, the endothelium. This microscopic layer is responsible for producing nitric oxide, the miracle molecule that tells your vessels to open up and let the blood flow through. By the time you reach 60, your production of nitric oxide has plummeted. Your vessels are essentially blind to the water entering your system. When you drink plain water, it enters your bloodstream and increases the volume, but it does nothing to fix the blindness of your vessels. In fact, it often makes it worse. Without the right accompanying minerals like magnesium and potassium, Plain water acts as a solvent that washes away the electrical signals your muscles need to contract and relax. Your legs, which are the furthest point from your heart, are the first to suffer. Gravity is already working against you, and when your blood is thick and your vessels are constricted, that water you just drank simply circulates in the upper part of your body, never reaching the deep tissues of your calves and feet. This is why you can be hydrated according to a medical chart, but still experience the dizziness and brain fog that come from poor systemic circulation. The water is there in the pipes, but the pressure and the flow are non-existent. Imagine a garden hose that has been left out in the sun for years. It's cracked, stiff, and narrow. If you turn the water on full blast, the hose might burst, or the water might just trickle out the end because the path is too obstructed. This is what is happening to the arteries in your legs. The weight you feel in your limbs when you try to walk up a flight of stairs isn't just muscle weakness. It is the physical manifestation of your cells screaming for the oxygen that the water failed to deliver. This hollow hydration is a silent thief of vitality. It robs you of your afternoon energy and makes every movement feel like a chore. You are essentially carrying around dead weight, water that your body cannot use to move the blood. Furthermore, the decrease in plasma volume that naturally occurs after 60 means that your blood is naturally more viscous, thicker, like syrup instead of water. When you add plain water to this thick syrup, without the proper mineral transport, you create a turbulent environment in your vessels. This turbulence can damage the delicate endothelial lining even further, leading to a vicious cycle of inflammation and even poorer circulation. You aren't just failing to help your legs, you might be inadvertently contributing to the very stiffness that makes walking so difficult. We have to move beyond the idea of filling the tank and start thinking about driving the flow. Your legs don't need more water. They need a functional delivery system that forces that water to go where it is needed most. Only by understanding this cellular mismatch can we begin to apply the strategies that actually restore the spring in your step and the warmth in your toes. To reclaim the strength in your legs and prevent the terrifying prospect of a sudden fall, you must stop treating your body like a passive container and start treating it like a complex thermal and chemical engine. The first and most immediate shift in your strategy involves the temperature of the water you consume. After 60, your peripheral nervous system is hypersensitive to thermal shock. When you drink ice-cold water, you are sending a violent signal to your gastrointestinal tract that ripples down to your calves and feet, causing an instant, defensive vasoconstriction. For a younger person, this is a minor inconvenience. For you, it is a biological shutdown of the very vessels trying to keep your leg muscles alive. You must switch exclusively to room temperature water, ideally between 20 to 22 degrees Celsius. This neutrality allows the water to pass through your gut and into your bloodstream without triggering the clamping effect that leaves your feet feeling like blocks of ice. By drinking a full glass exactly 15 minutes before you even stand up to take a walk, you are preloading your plasma volume, giving your heart the hydraulic pressure it needs to push blood all the way down to your toes. However, temperature is only the gatekeeper. Minerals are the keys to the lock. You must stop drinking empty water. By adding a single pinch of high-quality sea salt, not the bleached, stripped table salt from a grocery store, you are reintroducing the trace minerals that act as electrical conductors for your vascular smooth muscles. Magnesium and potassium found in sea salt are nature's own vasodilators. They provide the chemical instruction for your tight, rigid leg arteries to relax and widen. This isn't about flavor. It is about restoring the vascular conductance that age has stolen from you. If you want to take this a step further, you must embrace the deep red power of hibiscus-infused water. Unlike hot tea, which can sometimes act as a mild diuretic, room temperature hibiscus water is a concentrated source of anthocyanins. These compounds are specifically targeted at the endothelium, the inner lining of your blood vessels. They act as a biological spark, stimulating the production of nitric oxide exactly where you need it most. When you sip this burgundy liquid throughout the afternoon, you aren't just hydrating. You are actively thinning the syrup in your veins, and forcing the gates of your circulation to stay open. This is how you stop the heavy, leaden feeling in your limbs and start rebuilding the foundation of your physical independence. The most dangerous window of your entire day exists in the first 90 minutes after you wake up. This is when your cortisol levels surge. Your blood is at its thickest after hours of stasis, and your risk of a circulatory disaster in your lower limbs is at its peak. To survive and thrive after 60, you need a vascular shield. This shield begins with a specific morning ritual: a large glass of warm water infused with fresh lemon and grated ginger, consumed within 10 minutes of opening your eyes. The lemon provides the vitamin C necessary for nitric oxide synthesis, while the gingerols in the ginger act as a natural antiplatelet agent, gently thinning your blood without the harsh gastrointestinal side effects of aspirin. This ritual thaws your circulatory system, preparing your legs for the weight of the day before you even take your first step. It is the difference between starting an engine with old, frozen oil and starting one that has been carefully preheated. But the true golden formula for total leg flexibility and oxygenation lies in the marriage of nitrate-rich water and the power of your breath. Dietary nitrates found in abundance in beetroot powder are the most potent fuel for your internal nitric oxide factory. When you dissolve a teaspoon of this powder into your water and drink it, you are providing your body with the raw materials to dilate your arteries to their maximum capacity. Yet, the secret to unlocking this power isn't just in the glass, it is in your nose. Immediately after drinking your beetroot water, you must engage in 5 cycles of deep, diaphragmatic nasal breathing. Science has shown that the paranasal sinuses produce significant amounts of nitric oxide, which are carried into the lungs and bloodstream through slow, nasal inhalation. By inhaling for 4 counts and exhaling for 6, you are creating a synergistic explosion of oxygen delivery. This isn't just a breathing exercise. It is a targeted vascular pump that drives blood into the deepest capillaries of your thigh bones and calf muscles. Within 30 minutes, this combination creates a measurable increase in the warmth and flexibility of your legs, turning brittle, vulnerable limbs into a stable, reliable foundation. By mastering this morning shield and the nitrate breath protocol, you are no longer just aging. You are actively engineering a body that refuses to break. The transformation of a person's mobility is not merely a medical victory. It is a profound restoration of human dignity and the reclaiming of a life once thought lost. Consider the story of a man named Min, a 70-year-old whose world had gradually shrunk to the 4 walls of his living room because his legs had become anchors of cold, heavy stone. Like so many others, he was told by well-meaning professionals that his blood work was unremarkable and that he was simply experiencing the standard decline of aging. But after just 4 weeks of shifting from the habit of drinking cold, plain water to the mineral-enhanced room temperature protocol and incorporating the nitrate breathing technique, the impossible happened. The gray, waxen color of his ankles returned to a healthy, vibrant pink. The stabbing nighttime cramps that had kept him in a state of perpetual exhaustion vanished completely. Most importantly, the paralyzing fear that his legs would simply give out during a short walk was replaced by a quiet, steady confidence in his own physical foundation. He wasn't just drinking water anymore. He was irrigating the very marrow of his bones and the fibers of his muscles. This is the rebirth that awaits you when you stop viewing hydration as a volume-based chore and start viewing it as a precise biological signal sent to your vascular system. By aligning the temperature, the mineral content, the herbal triggers, and the rhythmic power of your breath, you create a symphony of circulation that reaches the furthest capillaries of your lower body. These 5 tricks are not just suggestions, they are a ladder back to your independence. You do not have to be a passive victim of your own biology. Your legs are the pillars of your freedom, and they are waiting for you to provide the functional hydration they need to carry you forward into a future defined by strength rather than shadows. The journey of aging often feels like a slow retreat, but the science of functional hydration offers us a powerful way to stand our ground. Reflecting on everything we have discussed, we must confront a profound truth. Health after 60 is not a matter of luck or genetics alone, but a matter of refined, intentional strategy. The modern world often sells us the lie that decline is a one-way street, and that we must simply accept the loss of our vitality as an inevitable tax on our time. However, the deep lesson here is that your body is a masterpiece of adaptation that never stops listening to the signals you send it. If you send signals of neglect through cold, empty water and shallow, unconscious breathing, your circulatory system will respond by retreating to the core, leaving your extremities to wither. But if you send signals of abundance through warmth, essential minerals, and oxygen-rich protocols, your biology will reach out to meet you with renewed vigor and warmth. The application of this lesson to your life is beautifully simple and starts with the very next glass of water you hold. It begins by choosing awareness over habit. Do not just fill a glass. Prepare a tonic for your veins. Let the water reach room temperature, add that vital pinch of sea salt, and recognize it as the electrical spark your heart needs to reach your toes. Tomorrow morning, before you engage with the stresses of the world, let the warm lemon and ginger water be your first act of self-preservation. This is how we age with grace. Not by fighting the passage of time, but by working in harmony with the intricate, beautiful machinery that carries us through it. Every step you take with warmth in your feet and clarity in your mind is a victory against the narrative of frailty. You now possess the knowledge to turn your hydration into a fountain of functional strength. Use it to protect your mobility, cherish your independence, and continue walking your path with the confidence you deserve. Which of these 5 hydration tricks feels the easiest for you to start implementing tomorrow morning to help your circulation? Please share your thoughts in the comment section below so we can all learn from each other's experiences and preferences. If you found this information valuable, please subscribe to the channel to support our mission of bringing you research-grounded health strategies that truly change lives.